Critical thinking goes beyond summarizing or describing a subject. It is not mere description or narration of an event or a topic. Critical writing involves analyzing, evaluating, and forming reasoned arguments. Remember, in critical review also you have the similar wordings. We analyze, we evaluate, but how they are different, if you remain attentive, you will come to know. It involves analyzing, evaluating, and reasoned arguments about a topic, about a topic. And if you remember the first definition, that was analyzing, evaluating a book or a chapter or a work. This is critical writing is about any topic. So that is one clear difference. In critical writing, the author assesses various aspects of an issue, making judgments and forming opinions based on evidence and logical reasoning. In that too, we did the same. Now, critical writing have certain characteristics. Number one is analytical. If you remember the definition which I just gave you in the previous slide, first was analyzing. So the characteristics of critical writing is it is analytical. You do analyzing in that. Critical writing involves breaking down ideas, concepts, and arguments into smaller parts for deeper understanding. It focuses on examining relationship between parts and their context. We analyze it, information, we sift it, then we argue it. And I'll give you example. Instead of simply stating that a study claims X, critical writing explores how this study reached its conclusion, what evidence it used, and its methodology. So, what evidence has been used? We analyze that. Whether the evidence was valid, whether the evidence is believable, or whether the methodology which is used, whether the statistical tools which are used are appropriate. And then critical writing is objective and impartial. You do not give sweeping statement for and against, which is of subjective nature, without reasons or proofs or empirical evidence. In critical writing, we avoid personal bias or emotional responses. Critical writing presents a balanced view, considering different perspectives and evidence before reaching conclusion. And I'll give you an example also. Critically evaluating an author's argument by discussing both its strengths and weaknesses without without letting personal preferences affect the judgment. You when we say critical examine Malthus theory of population, or we say critically examine force theory of state in political science. So we give arguments, what are the strong points of the theory, Then with that, we do not give sweeping statement that is the best. No, we are being unbiased. We try to find if there are some weaknesses or demerits. We mention that also. So it is objective and impartial, and it is evidence based, meaning that by that you are having critical writing. You should have selected evidence, and then you should have made use of that evidence to promote your argument. Arguments are supported by reliable evidence, and that reliable evidence is in form of data, theories, or authoritative sources. This makes the writing more persuasive, persuasive and trustworthy. Example, when critiquing a work, you must back up your critique with references to studies, statistics, and expert opinion. Remember, when at master's level, when you're writing something, even then we expect from you to tell us which source you have taken this from. For instance, you say the population of Pakistan is 24 crore. I said, what source? So you say, census of Pakistan, year 2017. This is the source. You are writing the critical, you are having a critical writing regarding disabled person in Pakistan. How many disabled person in Pakistan are there? You say 6%. I say, from where you have taken this? You have no source. You lost, sir. Please tell us. I say 2.49. And the source is population census year 19,089. That, or I'll say 10% of the populations are disabled. Source, World Health Organization study this year. So evidence based. Then well structured. A critical writing is well structured. It follows a clear and logical structure. Each paragraph focuses on specific point or argument, which builds toward an overall conclusion. And then, example, a well-structured essay starts with an introduction, outlining the main argument, followed by a body, and that body is composed of several paragraphs which address specific points. And at the end, there is at least one concluding paragraph in which you give the synthesis of the argument. Then questioning. In critical writing, questions are asked, pertinent questions are asked, relevant questions are asked. It involves questioning assumptions, methodologies, and conclusions. It challenges existing viewpoints. And the example is asking whether a particular theory is applicable across different contexts. As I just quoted Malthus' theory of population. Malthus' theory of population says that after 20 years, the population of the world would double, and the resources would not be able to keep food resources, other resources would not be able to keep pace with the doubling of the population every 25 years. And hence it would result into famine. It would result into wars. Now, this theory was presented 200 years ago. This theory has not been proven absolutely correct. Reason it was based on the assumption that no technological growth would be there, whereas that was a false assumption. There have been technological advancement due to which the agricultural yields have increased manifold. So we examine the assumptions also. Then balanced and fair. Critical writing should not be one-sided. It should not be emotionally charged. It takes into account different viewpoints or counter arguments and evaluates them objectively. This demonstrates intellectual fairness and depth of understanding. That example is presenting an opposing viewpoint before explaining why it might be flawed. Then purposeful. All critical writings have a purpose. Every statement or piece of information should contribute to overall argument or purpose of writing. Irrelevant details are excluded. In an essay critiquing a theory, only discuss aspects directly related to your argument rather than going off topic. Now, examples, process of critical thinking. Some examples. Understand the assignment. Clarify what you are being asked to analyze or critique. If I am asking you critically examine Malthus theory of population, so clarify what you are being asked to analyze or critique. First, you have to do that. Research thoroughly. You should not start writing right away, offhanded, without inquiring into it. Gather multiple sources of information and perspective. Formulate a thesis. Plan and organize. Write with clarity and evaluate your work. And evaluate your work. Journal writing is a personal and reflective process used to explore thoughts, feelings, experiences, and observations. I told you that some types of writing, they have some common features and some distinguishing features. Observing common features, you should not be confused that they are same thing. It's just like animals. There are certain animals who have got four legs, so you shouldn't say that they are the same. And all right. So why I gave you that example? That example I gave you that again two terms which are which have got common features are being discussed. When you are talking of reflective writing and when you are talking of journal writing, there are some features which are common. See to it and then see what are the distinguishing features. Journal writing is a personal and reflective process used to explore thoughts, feelings, experiences, and observations. So far, whatever is written seems similar to reflective writing. The goal of general writing is often used for self exploration, creative expression, problem solving, and personal growth. These are also almost similar to reflective writing. It can also serve academic and professional purposes, helping to track progress, reflect on learning, or document experience. So please glued on to this and you will come to know what is the difference. At the end, I'll give you four at least points where they distinguish. Goals of journal writing. What are the goals of journal writing? It is self-reflection. Journals provide a space to reflect on personal thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This can lead to greater self-awareness and understanding. And the example, reflecting on how you reacted to a challenging situation and exploring why you felt that way. All right. I would not keep you in suspense. One distinguished feature, let me give you right in the beginning. Reflective thinking is, for instance, in this month, I had online class of mm, this 8611. So I had a reflective writing after the workshop was over. That was related to a particular event or a particular topic. In general writing, it is almost on daily basis and just write like diary writing, you do it. That is a key difference, which I wanted to keep it till the end, but then I thought, no, let me give you a hint. At the end, also I'll compare and contrast. Goals. While you are writing almost on daily basis, at the end of the day, you sit down before going to bed, you start evaluating how the day you spent. So that is self-reflection. Journals provide a space to reflect personal thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. This can lead to greater self-awareness and understanding. Example, reflecting on how you reacted to a challenging situation and exploring why you felt that way. Emotional processing. Writing about experiences can help process emotions, reducing stress and anxiety by externalizing and organizing thoughts. If I sit back at night and ponder over the events of the day, obviously I would come across several emotional themes as well with relation to my kids, for instance, with relation to my colleagues, with relation to some one who met me on the bus stop or on the way to office. So while you are jotting it down after the event is over, obviously it would be delineating your emotional state as well. Writing about a difficult conversation to gain clarity and come to terms with it. Maybe you had a telephonic call with someone, some close relative. Maybe you had exchange of bitter conversation with, God forbid, your spouse. So creative exploration. Journals can be a place for creative expression, whether through writing, sketching, or brainstorming, exploring new ideas for a story or a poem, or experimenting with new art concepts, learning reflection, which means journals can support academic, professional growth by reflecting on learning experiences and documenting key lessons. And the example is writing about what you learned from a class or project and how you plan to apply that knowledge in the future. Personal growth. Journals help track personal development by recording goals. For instance, I am writing some PhD thesis. So today I went to carry out interviews of the stakeholders at particular place. What experience I had in doing that. You are writing that in your while you are having journal writing, documenting your goals and reflecting on the steps you took to achieve them. Then problem solving. You had some situation in your workplace where the customer, for instance, was misbehaving, and you had to be very composed and calm and control your temper in handling that. Writing a journal can clarify problems and help, and in that you should all you may also analyze that why that situation arose, why that customer flared up, why he started lost temper, what went wrong. So that is also part of this journal writing. Reflecting on a workplace issue and brainstorming strategy. I just mentioned that. Memory preservation. Memory preservation is that in general writing, obviously the things keep on happening, and you tend to forget. So general writing is a sort of diary writing, and it preserves your records, your experiences, and journal serves as a records of experiences, helping you to remember and reflect on past events. Then example, recording travel experiences or memorable moments to look back on later. What are the steps involved in journal writing? While journal writing is often free form, that in journal writing there is no such thing as introduction, main body, and conclusion, etc., or a format of review writing. It is, in a flow, you keep on writing as you write some narration of some event. So while journal writing is often free form, there are general steps to guide the process, particularly for those new to it or with specific goals. So I'll say it again, although it is a free form, but still you have to keep in mind certain steps. Set a purpose. What does that mean? Set a purpose. Decide on the focus of your journal. What are you going to write daily, almost daily? You can write freely or set a specific goal like reflecting on personal growth. For instance, you set a purpose, and the purpose is that I am going to write a PhD thesis that would take me 3 years. So the different steps which I am going through, I'll specially highlight what I did today. So that is a specific purpose. Besides that, other details you can also join in, but that is optional that you might set a purpose for writing the journal. Then, example given, I have already given you example, but another example is you may decide to focus on your journal on daily reflection or use it as a space for creative writing. Then find a comfortable space. Now, choose a comfortable environment that allows you to think and write without distraction. You are writing a journal, and in that, that may be fake end of the day. That may be you are about to sleep. Before that, you normally do that. So please, while you are doing so, there shouldn't be any distraction coming from different directions of different sides. You may be in your bedroom, shared with your spouse and your kids, running around, and TV is on. In that particular situation, the general writing would not be ideal. Because the atmosphere can influence the depth of reflection. A quiet room or a cozy coffee shop or in a nature setting may be ideal for general writing. Start writing without judgment. Being writing whatever comes to mind. Begin writing whatever comes to in mind. So it's a free form, as we mentioned earlier on, and you need not be that serious. Which comes first? Which comes second? Journaling is a personal process, so there's no need for perfect grammar, structure, or even coherence. You may use slangs there, and you may not be that keen to write perfect language. And it is about capturing your thoughts and feelings. But there should be coherence in the thoughts. If you don't know where to start, write about your day or how you are feeling in that moment. Reflect on thoughts and feelings. Dig deeper into your thoughts and feelings as you write. Ask yourself reflective questions. How do I feel about this? Why did this happen? What did I learn? And the example, after describing an event, reflect on how it impacted you emotionally. Then use prompts, and this is also an optional, that if you are struggling to start or want more structure, use writing prompts to guide your general entry. Prompts means that you need you are feeling some issues in the fluency. Uh, your, uh, your writing is not getting fluent, it is being stuck. So a prompt might be, what are you most grateful for today? Think of some good things today. Or what is the recent challenge you have faced and how did you overcome it? So things like that may spur you to write further. Review and summarize, that we have already talked about. And it is that after writing about a difficult situation, conclude by noting the lessons learned and how you might handle similar situations in future. Write regularly. It's not that once in blue moon you think of writing. No, you should be consistent in writing journals. Whether you write daily, weekly, or sporadically, regular entries help you track progress and reflect over time. Set aside time each day or week to write. You may decide to write at the weekends, but then regularly write on uh, each weekend. Review past entries. At times, you can turn over the pages, and after turning over the pages, you can see what all you have written. Maybe some important event you have skipped, or you are reminded of some good thing to write. Look back at your goals from 6 months ago to see how far you have come. Now, what are the strategies for effective journal writing? Some I've already mentioned, more are coming. Since you are writing what has passed in couple of days or hours, so be honest and authentic. It is an account of yourself you are giving. So you are the eyewitness. So you shouldn't be fooling yourself. Be fooling one's own self is no good. Don't censor your thoughts. Don't censor your thoughts. And journals are private spaces, so write honestly and authentically. Let go of fear of judgment. If somebody reads my journal, he would what would he feel of me? Maybe something you shouldn't have done. You have written that particular on that particular page. Then don't worry about structure. We have already said that this is a free form type of writing. So journal writing doesn't need to be perfectly structured. We even allowed you that you may not be that particular in grammar, or not that particular in language, or you may be using some slangs or abbreviations. It is more about expression than format. Write in a free flowing manner. That is the key. Write in free flowing manner, following your thoughts wherever they take you. And then use journals for goal setting. That means that a journal can be a tool for goal setting and reflection on progress. I given you twice, thrice example of doing PhD. Strategy at the start of each month, spell out that this is what I'm going to do each month, and then as the month passes, keep on monitoring and tracking and then making note of it and writing it. Then incorporate visual elements. Journal does not have to be only text. Include drawings, photographs, charts, images, and such things you may include in the journal. And use mind map. We'll talk about mind maps in the next unit. Mind mapping. What is mind mapping? Then ask yourself questions. Asking reflective questions can deepen your journal entries. And start with questions like, what was the highlight of the day? Here, the day has passed and you are writing about the day. So what was the best thing that happened? What was the worst thing that happened? And so on. Focus on gratitude and positivity. Your journal shouldn't be pensive thinking. You shouldn't give the impression of a disappointed, frustrated person. Journals can be used to cultivate gratitude by focusing on positive aspects of your life. Write gratitude journal where you list things you are thankful for each day. I just mentioned in the previous slide, talk good things that that are happening to you. Talk good things that you have done to others, and thank Almighty God for all blessing He is bestowing upon you. On one page, if you want, how should be the structure of the journal, then it should be like that. Write, don't forget to write date on which you are writing that diary or journal. Write the date of the entry. Then prompt, what did I learn today? Entry, reflect on the events of the day, including any significant learning or emotional moments. Include your personal feelings, challenges, successes, and areas of improvement. And then at the end, summarize the key lessons or insights gained from the reflection. It should not be mere narration of what happened all the day long. At the end, do draw some conclusion which would be helpful to you. As I told you at the end, I'll give you a compare and contrast between reflective writing and general writing. Reflective writing and general writing both involve personal expression. You know it, and I've told you all at the very beginning, but differ in their purpose, structure, and focus. Their purpose differ, their focus differ. Now, how does the purpose differ? In reflective writing, it is primarily analytical, focusing on specific experience or topic, one experience, one behavior or misbehavior. The goal is to evaluate and learn from experiences, make connections between theory and practice, and see what is general writing as far as purpose of general writing is concerned, typically more personal and informal. General writing is often used to record thoughts, emotions, and experiences on a daily or regular basis. I just gave you a hint to start with that reflective writing is about an event, about a misbehavior, about a thought, but general writing is almost we do it daily on daily basis on or say on weekly basis, and it is less structured and doesn't necessarily require an analysis or evaluation. Not necessarily, the word is necessarily. Then structure. As far as structure is concerned, reflective writing follows a more structured approach, often guided by framework such as Gibbs reflection or Sean's model of reflection. It typically includes a description of the experience, analysis, evaluation, or a plan. And general writing tends to be free form. We have talked earlier on, it is free form, whereas reflection, same gives 6 stages, starting from description, then feeling, and then so on and so forth. Third difference between the two is focus. Focus of reflective writing is on learning from an experience or understanding a concept in depth. It connects personal experiences with broader concepts, often with a view to improving future behavior or decision making. And general writing primarily focuses on recording personal experiences, emotions, or ideas. It is more about expression than analysis or learning. Right. And the fourth and last difference is audience. Reflective writing often intended for an external audience. I am writing about, I am writing a reflective writing on workshop. So that may be for other colleagues, that may be for students, that may be for university, but journal writing typically is personal and private. That is not meant for to be shown to others. That is another main difference.